Good evening, guys. Welcome back to another video. Stephen here. Can't be too loud because the baby's sleeping downstairs. But City have just drawn 1-1 with Brighton away at the MX Stadium. 25 games unbeaten in all competitions now, which is the top line for this. Of course, it was always going to be a weird game of football, just because it didn't really matter. It didn't really matter if City played well tonight or not, basically. So that to me was always going to be the context of this game of football. The league was already won. We had players resting, as Guardiola said. We had players resting because people had been drinking and so on. It was always going to be an interesting game. And to be honest, actually, it was a wild game of football in terms of chances. You look at that, 20 shots for Brighton, 13 for Man City, 7 on target for them, 4 for us. I think both teams could have reasonably scored 3 or 4 goals today. It was a bit of a shootout in the end, and it's sort of what I expected. I actually went for 3-3 in my match prediction, and that's pretty much what I would expect that the score would have been. Guardiola did say I was a little bit worried about how much we would have dropped what we've done the last 4 months. After 40 hours ago, we drank all the alcohol in Manchester, and the way they played was outstanding. We did drink an awful lot of alcohol, apparently. So I was surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a drop too. But I still think the football was pretty decent. Now, there was the odd change or so to the team. We did see, of course, a very different line to what we used to. This is how City lined up. Haaland, Foden, Morris, pretty standard there, really, I guess. Bernardo, Gundogan, De Bruyne. But it's where the defence got interesting. Rico Lewis at left back, Rodri playing centre alongside John Stones and Walker, with no Ake, no Laporte, and no Diaz on the bench. I'm hoping it's just because they're all pissed. No Jack Grealish in the squad either. Guardiola did sort of hint for fitness reasons, which I'm hoping is just alcohol fitness reasons. But there were some players missing from this game. And to be honest, I feel like you could tell that, Foden in particular was the one who wanted to make an impression. He was by far our best player on the pitch, I think. He went off as a precaution, as people are saying in the chat. Guardiola said that Phil, thanks Jeff for the quote, had a knock in the first half, problems in the leg. The doc told me it was dangerous and we didn't take a risk. I'm sure he's okay, but it was just a precaution, I reckon. It was one of those things where it was annoying because he was playing really well. Guardiola also said, by the way, we showed the reason why we're the best team in England. I like that, by the way. I actually think he's right, given the fact that Brighton were trying to secure Europa League football. They hadn't actually yet done it. They were going to, but they hadn't officially done it yet for goal difference reasons and so on. But they did ensure Europa League football, and I'm buzzing for them. They're in the Europa. Wonderful stuff. They deserve it, and they're a very fucking good side, aren't they? But back to Phil Foden, I thought he was marvellous. Some of the chances he put on a plate for Erling Haaland, then of course he got his goal himself. He was brilliant, creative, wonderful, alert, alive, so much skill, so much enigmatic brilliance. Phil Foden is a marvellous player, and he really was putting an audition for that starting spot in one of the finals, if not both. That's what we really want, and you could tell. You could tell that he was trying to impress, and he did. He did. Of course, there was the Haaland disallowed goal, which is nonsense. Guardiola did say, kicked off about it. He said, if that's disallowed, every action from a defender to Erling is a foul. Prove that we won the pitch. Prove that what we won on the pitch belongs to us. We weren't given anything. He's right that it shouldn't have been given as a... I mean, it's one of those things where you could turn around and say, well, he pulled his shirt, it should be a foul, but fuck me. Haaland, 10 times a game, Haaland's shirt's pulled. We should get 10 penalties a game. I'm sorry, but you can't be that fucking soft. In slow motion, it looks a lot worse than it is. In real motion, you realise he's just got to hold him like that briefly. It's like that. That doesn't stop you. I'm sorry. That doesn't pull you back, does it? It doesn't. It's absolute nonsense. They hold each other and put a marker on each other. He should have had his 37th goal this season. Looks like I was right to cash out, by the way. He's not going to get 40 goals. I was right to cash out. And Bernardo got his shirt pulled too. He did Brandon. Yeah, absolutely did. And it was silly. But that was, stuff like that wasn't given, so there we go. I mean, Guardiola was right to be annoyed by that. We should have won that game, and we should have carried on our winning streak, but we got sort of turned over by the referee there. Brighton did have a load of chances, to be fair to them. They did absolutely have a shit ton of chances, so they could have won that game as well on another day. But to be honest, I just enjoyed that game. It is weird because they are hard to judge because they don't mean anything, and it's hard to have it's hard to have an edge because why aren't we bringing on Wilson Esbrand, Maroon asks, because he's out on loan, mate, at Coventry. That'll probably be why. And he hasn't done well there either, actually. But yeah, the reason these games are difficult is because you don't have a real edge to your game, do you? It's very hard. It's very hard to get up for something knowing that For one, you're at a risk of an injury, missing potentially one of the biggest games of your career. You know, also there's no real jeopardy. You know, like there's nothing to worry about. We've won the league. You're tired from a long season. Your mind's elsewhere basically. So it's really hard for the players to naturally get up for it. But still, I actually think we played pretty well. I think we played well, and we would have won it if we had to. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And it was a good game. It was a good game of football, and I think 1-0 was a fair result in the end. Brighton are fucking great, by the way. They're a really nice team, and that Enciso goal. See why we're linked to him, can't you? What a special footballer he is, and that Enciso goal in particular. I hate to say it, but it's like a young Ronaldo goal, wasn't it? It really was. Overall, throughout the team, though, I thought Cole Palmer had a really nice cameo as well. He should have had an assist. He was excellent with his little runs and little dribbles and creating stuff. De Bruyne just very quiet. Bernardo, Gundogan, they were okay, fine. Rico Lewis had a decent game. Rodri wasn't a centre back, I don't think. Stones, alright. A couple of mistakes from Stones and Walker. To be honest, a few of them were just 5, 6 out of 10. I thought Foden was our best player by some way, to be honest. We didn't see, unfortunately, any of the kids get on. I'd love to have seen Shea Charles or Nico O'Reilly or Alex Robertson or Ben Knight get on, but unfortunately, we did not see that. Maybe we'll see that against Brentford, and I wouldn't be surprised if against Brentford we see, changes again with the forwards playing and the defenders. So the defenders back in and the forwards rested. We will see. Guardiola wasn't happy at all. I don't think it was a game to forget at all, Michael, personally. I mean, people say that, but I don't think it was a bad game. There was 33 shots on goal, Okay, it meant nothing, so it felt ineffective. That's the thing about games like this. They don't mean anything, so they don't feel exciting. But it was actually a good game of football. There was literally 33 shots on goal with loads of quality. So I know what you're saying in general. We'll forget about it because it doesn't mean anything. But overall, it was just a good game of football between two very good sides. And Brighton fans in the chat, Journeyman Guide, Brighton have done it wonderfully. Immense recruitment, an incredible manager, and some really good football. I think they've done remarkably, and I'm really happy for Brighton because they seem like they're doing it the right way, so to speak. And I wouldn't be surprised if De Zerbi is linked to Man City at some point in the future because he clearly is a remarkable manager and Guardiola clearly loves him. But obviously, we've got one more game now at the weekend against Brentford. I suspect we'll see something similar to this one. Let's look at the Premier League table. Brentford in the Premier League table? They are currently sat in 9th. It's fair. Brentford can jump up in. Brentford can get you conference football if they want it, Europa Conference. They can jump at Aston Villa and Spurs. So Brentford will go for this. Bearing that in mind, I would not be surprised if we lose this game. And that's not me being negative. It's just I think Brentford have, something to play for. 8 points clear of Arsenal in the end, by the way. Yeah, it's not bad, is it, at all? I remember Neville getting loads of criticism for Arsenal fans where he said in the end the City could be about 10 points clear. And he was absolutely bang on. Arsenal have definitely fallen off and bottled it to an extent, and the City side won comfortably in the end. But this game wasn't a game that we're not going to remember this game. I agree with that, Michael. But I think there was still some interesting little narratives to take from it. I really enjoyed Palmer's cameo. I thought Foden, he's such a special player. It's just a shame that he got injured when he did, when his form was good, because I feel like he could be almost certainly guaranteed to play, But it is what it is. Haaland's goal scoring form, well, he's actually got 4 in 9, I think, or 4 in 10. He would have had 5 in 10, which is 1 in 2 games, JM, double 11. So it's weird, isn't it, that his record 1 in 2 is seen as bad by his standards. And he's got assists in that as well. So I think if that goal hadn't been this slide, it would have been 5 in 10 with 3 assists. So it would have been 8 goal involvements in 10 games, his last 10. He set such high standards, isn't it? I'm not worried about it. He's Erling Haaland. He'll score. He'll score in one of those games. And to be honest as well, he got an assist today as well. So look at the stats as well. He's got 8 assists in the league with Fernandes and Trent Alexander-Arnold. 2 creators. He's got the same amount of them. He's got more than Odegaard. It's not bad, is it, for a guy who apparently has nothing but goals to his name. He's got 44 goal involvements in the Premier League this season. The same number as Henry's best season. 44 goal involvements. That is quite stupid for a guy who's only 22 years old in his first season. A wonderful, wonderful turnaround from a remarkable player. Guys, this isn't going to be the longest of videos, so I don't think there's loads to chat about in this, but I will be doing a 5 things learned tomorrow, potentially. Thank you for watching this. Do please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I love you all loads, and I'll leave it here though because I'm knackered, and I'll catch you all in a bit for another video. Bye bye.